Right. So it's time to take ourselves to the next generation. We are going to make our first B class craft. And this is the Mun Orbitor. Okay. No idea if that's spelled wrong. Do not care. So we are going to need, I think, this fuel tank, this engine, landing legs. These are for returning to Kerbal, not getting our butts off to not landing on Kerbal on M1. Jeez, Mike, I'm getting confused with all the freaking planets. So right, plunk this puppy on top. That's going to be our way home. Now I want to try and save on parts, I guess. We don't want to have too many. So I'm going to slap in here the battery. I think that's a good place to put it. We could put it underneath the parachute, but then the parachute could rip it off for all we know. So I think that's safer. We'll put 2 solar panels on here. And we'll stick... Actually, we'll put these on the underside. That should work. Gives us plenty of light from underneath. Actually, no, that would work because again, I'm thinking about the sun coming in from a certain direction. It wouldn't touch either of these solar panels, but it would touch that one, so that's good. Is there any angles it just doesn't get any light from? That looks fine, actually. Okay. Right, we need to get the kind of launch vehicle now, the one that's going to get us into orbit. So for the slightly lighter probe, we had 2 fuel tanks and then the engine. So I'm going to have, what do we want here? 200 thrust. Yeah, we want the gimbaled one. So I'm going for 3 fuel tanks this time. I'm then going to attach 4 solid boosters. They are going to have, again, because we have a heavier craft, they're going to have a higher thrust than the last one did. We'd also want to bring along science equipment, goo, so that's going to be fitted in here. Okay, so yeah, we need a science pod. Where is that? Science, of course. So we need a science pod. I would say we need a couple of goos. 2 probably enough. We probably should have a transmitter. Put that towards the center as much as we can. Can we get away with a thermometer? We obviously don't need this for the actual craft itself. Save this now. Is this enough parts? Oh yeah, staging. Correct. Brakes correct. Engine starts correct. Brake, yes. Need to separate these 2. I think we're good. Now what we did have is we had a problem last time with the probe. When we separated these boosters, they went freaking flying, like right towards the craft. They spun out towards the craft, so I don't know, maybe something a bit lower. Hoping that'll do. I think we're gonna take Lemsey on this trip. I think this is our best bet. So we've got solar panels, we've got a battery, we've got a good engine, we've got boosters, we've got engine for getting us into orbit, science pod for that, we've got science pod. We do need to do something in orbit for one of our orbit of Kerbal for one of our mission or one of our contracts, so that'll be that. We'll have another one for Mun. We'll have this one for Mun as well, and we're going to try and do close approaches of Mun. So we'll see how it all goes. We'll see what kind of fuel level we have, and if it's viable. So I thought it might be too big. How much are we over by? So yes, this is our first B class. 31, we're 1 part too much. So we may have to ditch the thermometer. Is there something we can lose? What do we not need? I am thinking we could maybe do this. We could drop this down to just having 3 legs. Is there something we're not, I'm not thinking about? What is it? Yeah, there's nothing else I can do. I think if I drop this down to just triple, I think that's okay. Yeah, that should work. We should still be able to land. It's like we're not landing on Mun, we're coming down on parachutes. So we should land on our legs relatively well. Okay, here we are. Let's get this puppy launched. Get her to Mun. Everything's looking good. SAS is on. Lemsey is ready for rock and rolling. Okay. Everything's good. Launching successfully. Accelerating faster than the unmanned probe. That's because we have these, I think 90%. Which means we're not going to get as high. We're not going to get, we might get faster, but we won't get higher. It means this engine will be working more. It's got another fuel tank for that cause, but we're adding weight. We've got all this extra weight up here, we've got an extra fuel tank weight there. It's all going to add up to the point where I'm hoping this is all going to get into orbit if we do this really well. That's my kind of hope. That I can get into orbit and do the main work with this engine and not this tiny little thing up here. But we'll see. We will see how well this goes. And here are them. Oh my god, look at the battery. The battery in there is not holding up well. That is not good. Hopefully it will not break. So we're still well within atmosphere right now. We're slowing down, but we're maintaining almost this speed, which is fine. So I'm going to get us nice and high before I start rotating us over. Otherwise you're probably fighting the atmosphere for a way longer time. So we're only at 20 odd thousand, which is not great. We've already lost our solid boosters. I'm going to really need to upgrade the construction building. We need bigger craft. I think the next upgrade upgrades us from like 30 parts to 200. So the craft we're going to be able to make are just going to be tremendous. Compared to these little things. These things are going to look freaking tiny. And we want to do that one. Oh yeah, you know what? Where's my thermostat? We could do that right now actually, couldn't we? Look temperature, transmit. Very good. Okay, I think we're high enough to begin our rotation to this side. Looks like our marker's already off to the side a little bit, so probably because the ship's just unbalanced in some way with a part off there. Yeah, let me just check, is that? No, so we're not. Yeah, I guess we have to be higher. So I'm just going to close these all for the moment. We're never going to do that. I'm probably going to have to abort that one. So the one I want to do is just that, which should be easy enough. Okay, I think should be safe now to completely rotate this and get all our speed sideways. Apparatus is 80,000, perfect. And I'm trying to keep us flat with this line if I can. That means we're flat with Mun. We are a little bit off, look at that. It's probably at 2 degrees. Mun is over, where is Mun? the heck is that? Ike, huh? Hey Ike. And Gilly. Mun's there. It's not bad actually. We'll see. Alright, we're going to be running out soon. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And we're going to reorientate again. Throttle up. Yeah, you can definitely see that battery is not doing as well. Once we lose this whole engine section, it should be fine. But it's kind of scary. Alright. Separate. Fire. Right, we need to get up to speed or we're going to get trapped by the atmosphere, so we need to go. And unfortunately this is using the fuel for the small engine, which is not what we want to do. We've got ourselves, you know, not too bad. We've got ourselves almost to 100,000. So our engine won't have to work quite as hard if we were lower, but because it's this tiny little thing, even though it's really fuel efficient, look at it. Full throttle will burning very slowly, which is great. But we could easily end up not making it. I think we will, but it's going to be close. So we're just really trying to push, push, push. Come on. Do this, my little thing. You can. You can totally do this. We need to push this out as much as possible. God. I don't know. I do not know if... Yeah, it's going to do it. It's, I'm sure. Like I say, we're burning fuel that I really wanted to use on the way to Mun, which might give us less options once we're at Mun. But we will see how it all goes. So our flight so far has only taken 6 hours. I think that's, yeah. I think that's days, so that's hours, so 6 hours, man. That's a lot. We want to push this up to over 70 and then we're fine. Come on. Come on. And cut. So, Mun is out here. Our satellite's here. So Mun's there. We want to burn... Well, not here. So we're going to fly on around. Slowly. It's always weird to think how much acceleration we have here. And how slow it seems. Now this is when you're orbiting. Orbiting's fast. Like we're going 2,000 kilometers a second. It's crazy. And then when you're out even further out, the amount of time is amazing. Anyway, we're going to burn here. And then push this line all the way out to Mun. And that should have us... so right here is where we're going to do our burn. So we should, if we throttle up to maximum, we should be able to push this line out. Now we can see, unfortunately we can't do any map work. Actually, yeah, this is the point where we're the flattest with Mun. This is the point where we're perfectly in line with Mun. Haha. So the way to get Mun is to draw a line straight from Mun to Kerbal and then take a 90-degree angle and then burn from this point where that intersects. So it's got 90 degrees cutting through here and then burn here towards your point of acceleration. So the thing is, we don't have the map capabilities to actually render in what's going to happen once we get out here. We can't like see how we're going to intersect with Mun, so we're going to have to guess it. So what I'm going to do is push this just over to probably about here, so we have 2 points of intersect that will come around Mun's orbit, and that means hopefully one of them will intersect. We will then be able to get into the sphere's influence, get into orbit, and everything will be hunky-dory. That's the plan.